I've finally got my hands on a Nintendo Switch 2. Or it could be a box of potatoes, given that I paid a little bit extra for this and got it from eBay. Let's find out. Hello tailoring talkers, welcome back to the channel. Roberto here with another unboxing, and this time it hopefully is the Nintendo Switch 2. Now these things are like gold dust. I did have one on order at Amazon and I regrettably cancelled that order because I thought I'm not really going to use this thing. I just don't have the time. But then within 24 hours of cancelling that order and hearing John rave about his Switch 2, I immediately had regrets and so went on a quest to try and find one of these devices, which is almost impossible at the moment. So in the end, I ended up overpaying a little bit on eBay. John was skeptical. He did warn me that there are a lot of scammers out there. I think I chose a seller who was reputable, but this is either a Nintendo Switch 2 Mario Kart bundle or it's a box of potatoes. So let's get on, unbox and find out. I have the box cutter that Alex very kindly bought for me because he was fed up of seeing me shred packages with my bare hands. So we might not need it actually. I think there was a bit of Royal Mail dodginess going on. Okay, well, so far so good. This looks like a Switch 2. Now, why have I ordered this thing? Well, firstly, I'm just one of those tech-curious types of people. The more and more I've seen of this device on YouTube and heard friends like John raving about it, I'm just curious as to see how something so small can be connected to a television and produce frame rates of 120 frames per second and also produce 4K visuals, which apparently are absolutely stunning. I'm also a sucker for Mario Kart. Back when I was a teenager, and Mario Kart alongside Street Fighter 2 were the two most played games on the SNES. I remember a lot of sleepovers where we ended up playing Mario Kart until 4 or 5 in the morning. It's a wonder how I managed to get straight A's in all my GCSEs. And also, I can't let John have all the fun. Alex has got this Asus ROG portable thing. John has this along with a host of other handhelds, and I just didn't want to feel left out. Now, before this arrived, I'd also purchased the Nintendo 256GB micro SD card to expand the memory on the device. Apparently you can't use a standard one, you need to get this one. I don't know how true that is. Now, before anybody asks me, I'm a complete Switch noob. I have never touched a Switch in my entire life. I've never actually owned a Nintendo device. I did play Game Boy and SNES and the GameCube, but those devices, I just told you a lie. I did own the Nintendo 64 and wasted a lot of my youth on GoldenEye, which is possibly the greatest shooter stroke movie tie-in of all time. But prior to that, I had never owned a Nintendo device. I used to borrow Game Boys and the SNES from friends of mine when I was at school. I also remember borrowing the Sega Game Gear, I want to say, and playing games like Shinobi on that. But my parents couldn't afford to buy me all these gadgets, so unfortunately I had to get creative when it came to having access to them. Anyhow, I'm a fully grown man, I have a YouTube channel, and I am able to buy these things with my own money to share with you lovely ladies and gentlemen. So without further ado, let's unbox this thing. Oh, the other thing that I bought was the Pro controller, Pro joypad. John told me that I must get this. Now, that's the outer sleeve. This was advertised as brand new sealed. I can't remember if I just broke the seal on that myself or not. So we'll check that out in the edit. I know not really much about this at all in terms of specs and so on. So again, I'm going to be giving you my honest opinion as a complete Switch newbie. I have no idea how these things work. I know that you can use it as a handheld, and I know that you can dock it to your television to play games on the big screen. But beyond that, I don't really know anything else about them. Right, okay, so this thing is quite well packaged. Oh, it is literally packaged like a game console. Right, we want to get this the other way around. Right, there we go. Okay, so we have these two controller things, which I think clip into the sides of the Switch 2. Now, what is this? Oh, this is the actual Switch 2. What else do we have in here? Aha. We have got... So I didn't know about this. So we have got what looks like a game code or voucher code for Mario Kart World. So I imagine you need to set up an account on the Nintendo store and then download this to the device. So it's not an actual cartridge. We have got a how to redeem your download for idiots like me. So we better keep those safe. Nintendo Switch 2, important information. I will read that later. Oh, look, they have actually kindly supplied a HDMI cable. I do have lots of gold-plated ones, but it's really, really nice that they've done that. So my PlayStation 5 is actually connected to my main television in the house, which is a 65-inch Samsung OLED with the full Dolby Atmos system. We have a Samsung 65-inch frame TV in our kitchen diner, and that's the one that I'm thinking I'm going to hook the Switch up to. Okay, we have... I have no idea what these are. I think these might be lanyards, like you tie them to your wristbands. And I have deduced that because they seem to be color-coded to these things. So I imagine that these clip into the sides of the Switch, and then you can use them freely and clip these to them so that you don't lose them. A bit like the Nintendo Wii. Oh, I remember that. Yeah, the Nintendo Wii. Used to play Wii tennis and boxing. Now this is just an unboxing today. I'm not going to try and set any of this stuff up. I'm going to do that in my own time, and then I will be back in a week or two with the Switch to give you my 2-week verdict. John is actually working on a 1-month ownership review. And then once we've got all of that content out, maybe at some point towards the end of the summer, the three of us are going to get together, because Alex is also doing a video on his Asus. I think it's an Asus ROG or ROG. So it's a new handheld device that he's also got, and he's currently putting through its paces. So eventually the three of us are going to come together and we're going to have a conversation about these devices, but we're also probably going to have a nice longer chat about handheld history, or our history with handhelds. Okay, so what have we got in here? This, oh, okay. This is some sort of controller adapter, I guess. Oh, I reckon that you can slot these in here, and then it becomes like a proper controller. So that's kind of cool. So this thing is it's like a transformer, isn't it? You can do so many things with it. Okay, now over here we have got a USB-C cable. Aha, and that will connect into the charging brick. So that's pretty cool. Another USB charger around the house. That's what we like. USB-C charger, I should say. And then here, I reckon this is the docking thing. Let's just get this box out of the way. So where's the, I guess the processor is in, yeah, this is the dock. I have to say, it all feels really, really well made. I know a lot of people have been moaning about the price of this. It's more expensive than the original Switch. But it feels really, really well made. Everything just feels really, really sturdy. So I guess this plugs into the TV. Yep, so we've got a HDMI connector here. And then in here, we've got, there's a little sort of multi-pin connector in there. So I guess I'm probably gonna find the same thing on the actual Switch. Oh wow, this is actually quite big. It's bigger than I expected. Yeah, so we've got a little multi-point thing there. So I guess this just goes into here like that, and off we go. Yeah, it's quite bulky. I mean, not bulky, but it's got a bit of weight to it, a bit of heft. Apparently it's an LCD screen, it's not OLED, which is another thing a lot of people have been complaining about. For me, I think OLED would be a bonus. I'm not really going to be using this as a handheld much. I'm really interested to see Mario Kart World in all its 4K glory on a big screen and actually be able to play that with my wife and with friends. We've got a kickstand here. So we can stand this thing up. And this, again, this feels really, really well made. It's got a nice bit of resistance to it. And it doesn't feel like it would snap off or anything. So that's pretty cool. Let's have a look at the ports on the actual Switch. So these must be speaker grills. We've got USB-C. We have got an actual headphone jack here. So I will probably make use of that. We've got a game card slot here. So I guess when you buy games and they come on an actual card, I was going to say cartridge because that's what I'm used to from my childhood days. We've then got a volume up and down rocker here. I don't know what that is. It might be a reset button. This is the on-off button. And at the bottom we've got another little connector here, which I think is USB-C, but I mean this must go into the connector that's in here. I wonder where you put the SD card. I don't know. I'm going to have to read the instructions, and I'm sure there are some of you watching this that are screaming at me, telling me where it goes, but I can't see, obviously. It might just go in there. Just in that little slot. That looks, oh no, it doesn't, because that matches that one. So that's not an SD card slot. Let's just open this up and see what's going on. No, that definitely takes a cartridge of some sort. So I've got no idea where this expansion SD card goes. So anyway, I'll find out. I'll read the instructions. Let's do a quick, oh actually, do you know what? Let's just put this to the side for a second and let us unbox the Pro Controller. Now this wasn't cheap, this was 80 quid. What did I pay for this on eBay? So this was up for $5.25. A lot of them are if they're advertised as brand new boxed. And I made an offer of $4.95, which was accepted. But then I also had a PayPal voucher, which got me £35 off. This retails at, I believe, $4.25. So basically I've paid an extra £35 over, if my mental arithmetic is correct. So I don't think that's too bad to get my hands on it sooner rather than later. Right, so let's have a look at this. I'm going to put the Switch here so that I don't drop anything on it. Now let's have a look at this Pro Controller. So this Pro Controller wasn't cheap, it's like £79. The SD card was, I don't know, I'll put the price on the screen for you, but I want to say it was like £50. But yeah, I mean, controllers aren't cheap these days. I mean, look at the price of PS5 controllers are like 80 quid. Xbox controllers, I think, can be anywhere from 80 to 120 pounds. So, yeah. Okay, so Switch 2 Pro Controller. We have got some information here. We have got a USB-A to USB-C charge cable. And then in here, we have got the controller. just ended up with a lot of packaging on my table. Oh, okay, there we go. That feels really, really nice. Now, I'm a big fan of the PS5 controller. I do like the Xbox Series X controller as well. I'm a really big fan of that kind of ergonomic. The PS5 is the one that I have the preference for. This kind of feels in between the two. Feels something like in between the PS5 and the Xbox Series X controllers. The button layout is pretty much very, very similar. So you've got your two joysticks, then you've got a D-pad, then you've got your X, Y, A, B. Can't wait to play Street Fighter with this. We have got our left and right triggers, USB-C port for charging. Then we have got, maybe that's for pairing, I don't know. We've got a little kind of speaker thing there, that must be a microphone. Then we have got ZL, ZR, so these are triggers. And then at the very bottom on the grips, we've then got a GL and GR. So we've got some additional buttons here, which you could press with your third finger. So that's pretty cool. We have a plus and minus here. I don't know what they do. A home button, and we've got another thing here. I have no idea what that does. And we have a button with the letter C on it. And again, I have no idea what that does. So I will be finding out. We have got a headphone jack here, so we can, again, connect our headphones into that. I might try these with my AirPods Max, because those headphones are absolutely amazing. So yeah, there we go. That's the Pro Controller. So is it worth $79.99? I don't know. I guess once you've spent the money and the money's gone and you get lots and lots of use out of this, then you probably wouldn't care after a bit of time has passed. But it definitely feels really, really well made. Everything that I've unboxed feels really well made, really, really sturdy, really premium, doesn't feel like it's going to break, which is particularly handy for those of you that are thinking about getting these for children. And then the last thing that I want to do while I'm with you is get these things out. I have no idea what they're called. Joy-Cons? Whoa. That's really satisfying. It's like they just snap in, and then for someone who's never had a Switch before, I'd be quite worried that they would then easily pop out the sides, but they don't. They're just there. And then that's going to take a bit of getting used to, actually. But again, you've got the same sort of layout as you have on your controller. You've got the same buttons as well. And then you've got your triggers back here. I don't know if it's got those little GR buttons. Maybe that's, oh no, this is to release it. Okay, there we go. But yeah, this is something that I'm gonna need to play around with. So that's the Nintendo Switch 2 unboxed. Thank you so much for joining me. If you've got any questions or comments, or you wanna teach me what I'm supposed to be doing with this, then please drop them in the comments. Please do like and subscribe to support the channel, and I will see you on the next one.